Welcome to our Monday class, our uh, hair Zoom, our virtual hair Zoom. This is led always by our trichologist, Doris Mosley. She has more than 50 years of experience in the field. She is a product formulator, she is an industry innovator, and
Mhm.
she is a sought after trainer for around the country. In fact, she is now hold on just a minute. So if your volume is low, if my volume is low, let me make sure. Mine is up. You might want to check yours, Lisa. My volume is high. As I said, she's currently traveling in her teaching capacity. She's in the great state of Mississippi, about to go to a class at one of the schools there, always imparting great knowledge. Without any further ado, I want to introduce my friend, my mentor, Doris Mosley. How you doing, pretty?
I'm great, and I want to give it back to my coach, my mentor, my everything in Akana is none other than Kathy. You are a great leader, Kathy, and I appreciate you so much, so much.
Appreciate you right back. So you're going to tell us about hair follicles today. Is that right?
Yes, yes. But first, I want to share hemp-powered hair oil because all of those certified oils in there is directly targeting the follicle, which without a follicle, there's no strand of hair. So I want people to know that if a follicle die, that strand of hair is gone forever. And alopecia is right now running rampant, okay? And that is just simply the medical term for baldness, right? Our hemp-powered hair, I'm just going to go through some of the certified oils. And you see on the screen the benefits of it. It's a natural way to strengthen and heal damaged hair follicles due to normal traction and androgenetic alopecia. It protects from stress and traction on the hair, reduce breakage, thickens edges, promote healthy hair, and natural shine. Now, it also tell you how to use it, and I'm gonna tell you my story in the end about how I used it because I was diagnosed with a hair loss condition called CCCA. And if you've been with me for a while, you already know what that is. But I didn't do what the company said. Of course, I panicked and I did it every day, okay, every day because what I didn't want to do was to lose my hair. But in hemp powered hair oil, we have, and it's in no particular order, we have black seed oil. Now, a lot of us may have that itchy scalp. You know how we start itching in the top end, patting, and have a little burning sensation? Well, black seed oil was placed in there for a reason because it helps soothe out that scalp, helps stop those itchy feelings so you don't dig because the follicle is zero point 0.3 centimeters beneath the epidermis, which is the top layer of hair of skin. And so you don't want to damage that follicle because you don't want to cause it to be sick. You don't want it to cause it to be dead, die off or whatever, folliculitis, meaning there's some sickness somewhere. And then we have peppermint oil. Peppermint oil in here is the blood, helps stimulates the blood. And I always say where blood don't flow, hair don't grow. And that is a fact. Okay. So we have the peppermint oil for blood stimulation. Then we have cinnamon. Cinnamon helps get rid of those free radicals. Now, free radicals, they're just going in there making havoc on the cells, destroying our cells. If you think about it, you may have a free radical right in your house. I don't know who that could be. You may know the name of the person, but we have human radicals, okay, free radicals. So we don't want that in our follicles. We don't want it in our blood cells. We don't want it nowhere in our body. So our cinnamon help get rid of those free radicals. Then we have baobab. Baobab is from the tree of life out of Africa, and it helps give us the vitamin C and iron that we need. Now, I don't want you to overdo iron because overdose of iron can cause hair loss. And so you got to know the balance in there. And I kind of knew that balance, okay? Then we have moringa. Moringa is that oil that gives you the overall health of the body. You got to have a healthy body. We was talking, Dr. Betty, and I am so fortunate to have her with me on this trip because she and I are having some great conversations. And the body is, if the body is not healthy, meaning it is not in an alkaline state, then you are set up for disease. You are actually set up for disease. And that was Royal calling. Maybe she's trying to get in. I don't know, Kathy. Then we have rosemary. Rosemary oil. And let me just finish telling you about a disease. Disease body is an acid body. Okay, that's where disease is housed, in an acid body, not in an alkaline body. Alkaline body says, get back. You have no place in my life, no place in my body. And that's an alkaline body. So we want to stay on the alkaline side, keep our body on the alkaline side instead of the acidic side, okay? And anything below 7 is on the acid side, and anything above 7 on the pH scale, that's in alkaline side. Then we have rosemary. Rosemary oil helps get rid of DHT. It's a DHT blocker, okay? So DHT destroys that follicle, all right? And once I tell you a little bit more about the follicle, you understand what I'm saying. But rosemary is a DHT blocker. Then we have our lemon oil. Lemon oil is the oil that helps clean up the scalp and the shaft. You want to make sure that you get all that debris off the scalp, because what it does is just simply clog the pores. We have accelerated skin cells that that clog those pores. So the lemon oil helps clean the shaft, and the shaft is that hair that's above the scalp, and the root is beneath the scalp. So when people say, Doris, don't forget, color my roots, I just shake my head and say, oh no, I won't be able to color your roots. Press my roots. I won't be able to press your roots because it's beneath the scalp. So we have to have that kind of knowledge so we can come back with the right answer, and know that we only doing the hair near the scalp. The new growth, that's what people refer to as the roots, but that's simply just the new growth that has made it above the epidermis, okay? Then we have salmon oil. Salmon oil is that oil that gives shine to the hair. It gives strength to the hair. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the shine. We're looking for the strength. That makes a big difference. Then the lavender. Lavender oil is another oil that help clean up, help protect, and support the follicle. That's very important. Then we have, of course, CBD. Our CBD is in our hemp-powered hair, and the reason it is in there to bring balance to the body, okay? And that's important, okay? So we want to make sure that we are definitely having that type of progress. We want to make sure that our hemp-powered hair oil is done at least 3 times a week. 2 to 3 times a week. You want to start slow. A lot of people say, well, can I do it more? You can, it won't hurt you, but you got to do it in the area where you're losing the hair and under the tongue. And I always wait 60 seconds before I swallow. Usually I put my hemp-powered hair at night under the tongue, so it just dissolves on into the body, okay? Very, very important. Now the follicle itself, now that's the oils that are in our hemp-powered hair. All of those oils directly support the follicle. What is the follicle? The follicle, that's the structure that helps support and strengthen the growth that contains the hair root, okay? You know, when I send my clients, if I have to send them to a dermatologist, I always ask them when they come back, what did the dermatologist say? They said, I have alopecia. I said, oh, really? What is the root cause of your alopecia? So that's where the follicle is like it houses the root, okay? And when it houses the root, it nourishes the root. by providing with good blood vessels. And if the blood is not there, and I always remember to say and look in the mirror and say, you are what you eat. Now, if you're not putting good things in, guess what? Good things are not coming out. So we got to make sure that we are supplying the follicle with good things, because the cells are going to split. And when they split, what are they splitting with? Bad things or good things? And all I say now, when I look down at my plate, if I see a lot of colors, I see a happy plate. If I see a lot of brown, I see a sad plate. So you are what you eat. And I always tell people, do you plant tomatoes in your garden? I heard Melissa talking about this morning, and she said, we're going to start planting our own garden. But when you plant that garden of tomatoes, do you go out there looking for corn? No. So that's the same way with the body. You got to plant what you expect to grow. And that's with the body. And then we know that the follicle, it's a cycle which the hair grows. The hair grows through 3 cycles, and it continuously growing. We have the anagen cycle. The anagen cycle is that cycle where if it stay in there, and it usually 6 to 7 years, but the longest you can keep that hair in the anagen cycle where it's being nourished by the follicle, which is, of course, where all the nutrients is, the longer the hair will be. Now, hair grows on an average of 6 inches a year. Okay. Now, that hair that grows 6 inches a year is not my texture. Okay. It's not my type. Just remember that. Okay. But on the norm, a fourth of an inch to a half an inch a month. Now, if you look at this picture, the hair growth cycle, you can see it right there. The anagen stage is where it has good blood supply. Then it goes over to the catagen phase, and that's where you start to lose blood supply. And it's basically in there about 10 days to 2 weeks. Okay. Then it transition over to the telogen stage, and the telogen stage is where the hair is shedding. That's a normal process. Hair sheds 50 to 100 strands a day. Now, if you have any hairstyle that is secure, such as what I'm wearing, I start wearing locks. Kathy wear locks, and a lot of people are wearing natural hairstyles now. Locks is very popular now, but the hair is still shedding. Now, what's happened when we retwist, relock, that hair that would have came off if our hair had been loose, combing it out, wind blowing it out, then we would have had, those strands would have been gone. But instead, they can't get out. Although they can't get out, they're still shedding. Okay, however many you shed a day. And then if it becomes telogen and fluvian, guess what? That's excessive. Something is not right. Remember, hair is an appendage of skin, and it's the barometer of the body. Okay. And you were born actually with 5 million follicles, 5 million, but over 100,000 of them made it plus to the head. So we got to make sure we're protecting that follicle at all costs. And you see at the bottom, if one follicle is lost, the strand is no longer alive and is called a follicle hysterectomy. If blood doesn't flow, guess what? Hair won't grow. And we got to have our blood flowing in good supply, just like it is in the anagen phase. And you see how it's just cycling right around. It's not that we're going to look up one more and look in the mirror and say, oh, what happened? Oh, my hair is gone. Oh, it's coming back because it's in the catagen and intelligent phase. Oh, it's coming back. No, it doesn't work like that. You don't really see it. But most people, if they are losing, they're about 51% losing before they realize that they're losing their hair. So you want to make sure. I met people who said, oh, I don't need the hemp powered hair dars. My hair is fine, girl. My hair is thick. But see, what they don't know, once I do the trichoscopy on them, meaning I'm analyzing their scalp, they can see the spaces and how far the follicles are apart. You can't see that with the naked eye. So I say to everybody, you need to have your hemp powered hair oil and you need to start using it now. Don't wait until you're 51%. Then you realize, oh my God, I should have gotten the hemp powered hair long time ago. That's not how it works. Then uh we go into what is attached to that strand of hair from that follicle. Okay, we have the sebaceous gland. Now, what is the sebaceous gland? The sebaceous gland is what uh, secrete sebum. Sebum is the oil that is a natural oil that it comes up through that strand of hair and it helps lubricate the scalp. Because a lot of time we don't drink a lot of water. So we don't drink a lot of water. Guess what? Dehydration is one of the reasons people are losing their hair. They don't drink water. Some people say, I don't like water. Well, if you don't like water, 85 to 90% of the body is water. So if you're not drinking water, guess what's happening? It is depleting its own supply, and that means dehydration. So when you have sebum is being secreted through your sebaceous gland, which is coming out of that follicle. Remember, the follicle is what nourishes. It produces sebum and oily substance that moisturize the scalp and the hair, preventing dehydration. Okay, that's very important, very important. And you don't have the dryness, and it provides a natural shine. And that's where you really want to come. You really want to come with a natural shine, and hemp powered hair only supports that. Okay, it only supports that. And then we have the protection of the follicle. We have nerves, okay, and then we also have the erectile pili muscle is there. And you've seen when sometimes you get frightened and the hair, you say, oh, I was so scared that my hair stood up on my arm. That's because that is you reacting to the erectile pili muscle. Okay, and the nerves and the hair does not hurt if you just cut it off, you thermally texturize it, you do everything to hair and you don't feel it at all. But pull it, then you'll feel it. That's the nerves that you already disturbed, or the muscle, the erectile pili muscle that is attached. Okay, so those are the things that happen when you make the wrong contact, I'll say, with the hair. But as far as hair itself, once it come above the scalp, it has no feeling at all. Okay, but it is equipped with nerve endings that enhance the sensory perception, allowing the scalp to defect if there's a certain movement, meaning you pull, and then when traction alopecia has become one of the number one reasons why people are losing their hair. And traction simply means that they are pulling too tight. And that's not a comfortable feeling, pulling too tight. People know that and eventually you will lose, okay? If you continue to pull tight, you notice today's world, there are a lot of hairlines are missing because of the pulling tight. And when people tell me, Doris, I have to take Excedrins before I get my hair braided, that is crazy to say that, because that means it is too tight. Or they'll say, I had to drink a couple of shots of liquor. That's even crazier. And then when the one that really get me, when they say, oh, I have to smoke a joint to calm it down. I was like, that is not good. Why would you do that? Look at that traction. Why when I see that, I say whoever was doing that person's hair did not love them, because that wasn't an overnight thing. That was a gradual thing. And when I see people with their hairlines behind their ear and they still braiding, I just shake my head and say, Lord, have mercy. They are not going to have any hair. Eventually, they're going to be alopecia totalis. That is traction alopecia, what you're looking at. And Catherine don't want us to see it, but a second. That is traction alopecia that's on this, that she had up on the screen, which means yes. Okay. It is very, very common to that you see that look on people who just ponytail. They need to change their hairstyle. They need to change their hairstyle because it's just tearing their hairlines up. And it just won't stop at the hairline. It'll keep going back, back, back. And the way we test to see where our hairline should be, we put our little finger on top of our eyebrow, close all the fingers down. Where your pointing finger land is where your hairline should begin, okay? Place it right there, close it all down, and you see where mine is? Right in place. Because what I didn't allow people who, when I was wearing weaves and stuff, they did not braid me tight. I wouldn't allow that because I knew my hair was going to grow out anyway. You can't stop that process. As long as you're living, it's going to grow out. So I didn't want that process to cause me to lose my edges because I wanted my hair braided so tight that I looked like another race of people when I would leave out of the salon. Go out, you always say, go in looking American and come out looking, and now I can't say it because they say, Tarsh, you can't say that. I say, but that's what it looks like. So that's very important that we know that. And then we got to be careful. We don't go out in the sun enough. We don't go out and get the vitamin D that's needed. And then when we do go out, guess what? We got a weave on, we got a wig on, we're full of braids that no sun is getting to it. Have to put our traction alopecia up again. And it's a type of alopecia caused by chronic pulling force being applied to the hair. It commonly results from a person frequently wearing their hair in a tight ponytail, pigtails, or braids, with increased likelihood when hair is chemically relaxed, as this compromises the hair shaft, resulting in hair breakage. Traction alopecia causes a recession of the hairline due to chronic traction. That is not good. Somebody didn't love this person because that just wasn't an overnight thing. That was a gradual process that ended up causing this lady to lose her hair. And traction alopecia go back as far as in the 1700s because people wore a lot of ponytails. But you should change your hairstyle and so you don't have the same type. And then you have, of course, androgenetic alopecia. That is male pattern baldness. And male pattern baldness, there's no hairline. They usually be slick all the way through. Female pattern baldness usually end up with a hairline, okay? So those are types of alopecia. Again, traction, you end up with scar tissue. Alopecia areata is scar tissue. So we have a lot of different types of alopecia. We just got to know if you do have to, if you're a stylist on the line and you have to send your clients to a derm, you want to make sure that the dermatologist gives her the root of her problem. And then you want to also make sure, don't make this mistake, is saying to people, if they have a medication issues while they're losing their hair, please do not advise them to stop taking their medication because that is definitely a no-no. Because at Akana, we don't guarantee anything. We only deal with testimonies. Mine's, for instance, I was losing my hair in the top, okay, all up here. I start to lose my hair. I was itching, I was patting, I was doing all those things that early signs of CCCA, diagnosed with CCCA. And I said, you know what? I got to use this, and I got to use it every day to make sure I was not going to lose my hair. Because I said to our CEO, it got to work for me. Not that it'll work for everybody, but it have to work for me, simply because I can't successfully tell you about something that did not work for me. So I use it every day. That's my testimony. And 2 weeks after I was using it, my daughter was photographing me. She journaled it. And I said, Lily, is anything happening now? She said, Mama, please, you know it's not nothing happening now. It's only been 2 weeks. I said, but them other people said they product worked in 2 weeks. She said, Mama, you know better. And I did, but I was like, okay, let me see what's going on. So it's 2 months later when I started seeing a difference. 8 months later, my hair was back. And I started locking it later on. I didn't just start right then. I started locking it later after my accident. But this is what I'm saying. You got to know that that follicle is there to house that strand of hair. And that follicle is there. Now, let me share the 3 types of follicles that you get. You get a straight follicle, okay? When you have a straight follicle, the hair comes right out. That's the hair that grows the fastest. And then the hair is straight. When you have a bent follicle like so, that's your curly hair. That is your wavy hair. And then when you have a follicle that is flat like this, you have my texture. You have hair that is extremely curly. And I used to say kinky. That was another thing that got me. You can't say kinky, Doris. I was like, oh, Lord, okay. Well, anyway, it's like mine. And my hair is extremely curly. Okay. Now, that's the type of hair that comes out of those type of texture. Has nothing texture, medium texture, coarse texture. The fine strands are smaller, the medium strands are a little bigger, and the bigger strands are the coarse strand. Don't confuse texture with density. Some people confuse density with texture. Density is simply how many strands on the head. Has nothing to do with uh, the texture, and of course the type. And some people say, oh, my hair is so fine. Well, they're saying fine because they're losing, not fine because of the strand. So when somebody come to me and say, I have 1C, 4C, 3C, 2C, I don't know nothing about those type of hair. I know about follicles, flat, bent, or curved, and flat, straight, flat, flat like this, because look at it has to come from all the way around here on and out. And then you have bent, that's your wavy to curly hair. So that's what I deal with when I'm talking to a client or I'm accessing the client, I'm doing trichoscopy on a client. That's what I look for. And then when I do the trichoscopy, I want to see whether that client has a clogged pores. If they have clogged pores, that means whatever the toxins need to get out to protect that follicle, that's what needs to come out. Okay, you need to unclog those pores so you can get the toxins out so you don't end up with folliculitis. And you know, when there's itis, there's an illness. And then we have the distance. You can look at the scalp and see the distance between the follicle, meaning there's hair loss there. Doesn't mean it's not coming back. No, it could come back. If you put those drops on there, if that follicle is still alive, it may be a little sick, it may be a little sluggish, but it may still be alive in there. And you go in with our hemp-powered hair oil, hey, miracles happen. It could come back, okay? No guarantee because you are what you eat, and we don't know what you're eating, okay? And then we have whether or not there's inflammation. Inflammation, I always tell people, it's an inside job. It illuminates through the scalp. You see all this red on the scalp. It means that inflammation. Someone asked a question on this tour we on it. It's like, how do you know where inflammation is? Inflammation is depending on what you eat, it's everywhere. It is everywhere through the body. It's just that when you go and do the scalp analyzation, you could see it and the client can see it too. Okay. So we got to detox. We got to start detoxing. We have an excellent 7-day cleanse and 21-day cleanse. That's what we have to start focusing on, getting our body in a healthy state so we can get healthy hair and hair back. Okay. That's very, very important. So if you have any questions, uh, by all means ask. And if I don't know the answer, I'm not going to filibuster around on it. I will look it up, do some research, and try to find more about it because every follicle loss is a strand of hair loss. And every strand of hair loss, meaning that you having space and more space. Okay. Kathy, any questions in the chat?
I don't see any currently. Thank you again, Doris. Again, as always, I learned something new. There is one. Lisa just asked, "Hi, do you come on the East Coast?"
Uh,
We actually did a tour at the beginning of this year, Lisa. I was lucky enough to grab her right in January and February, uh, to start the year off with that, and then we'll be together again in Tennessee at the end of this month. So yes,
Yes,
to answer that
June
question.
30th first.
Yes. So was there a specific place that you were talking about, Lisa? Where are you?
Hold on for 1 second.
Sure. You're unmuted. I can hear you. I can see you. You just muted yourself. You just muted yourself back. Lisa, you just muted yourself back, baby. We can't hear you. Lisa, you just muted yourself back. You
Oh,
were, there you go.
Can you hear me now? No, when she was
Yes.
here in January and February, what part of the East Coast was she located?
We were in South Carolina, North Carolina, and Georgia.
Okay.
Where are
All
you?
right. Well, just keep me. I'm located in Maryland. I mean, I'm
Okay.
willing to travel.
And so are we. So, I mean, you know, if you have an event that you like to put together, and you know, we do have several other people that are there in Maryland as far as reps go. So we can certainly do a great event. Absolutely. People in Maryland have hair.
Okay. All right.
And because hair loss is an epidemic, they are losing it too.
That's right. So
Yes, they
absolutely,
are.
we can take this education of uh the scalp scan, the bioscan, the how you eat right, because it really does go for overall health. So yeah, Lisa, if you want to spearhead the upper Marlboro area, you know, wherever you are in Maryland, you can absolutely do that, and we can work together to make it happen.
And I'm in Mississippi
All right.
today,
She's in Mississippi today.
right now.
Wow. I'll keep that in mind then. Okay, then. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Pam, did you have a oh, she had, does hemp powered hair work on hair loss from medication? Go ahead and address that, Doris, because I know you've spoken on that before.
Yes, it does, but we don't advise you to stop your meds. I always tell people, because I was on medication and on medication, I will always say to them that if you're going to take it, wait 2 hours after you take your meds to do the hemp powered hair. Let it dissolve under the tongue, but let the doctor tell you what you need to do to get off the medication, your primary physician who put you on meds. Because remember, every medication has a side effect. And I always tell people to look at that package that they give you, that paper, and see if one of the side effects is the medicine that you have. And I know that chemo is a hair loss medication. And I had an opportunity to interview an oncologist and to ask her, where do hair start to lose? Where do you start losing on what level when you're on chemo? And she said on the cellular level. Now, if you notice, people who do have chemo, when their hair come back, it comes back on the cellular level. It comes back as if there was a baby. Then it goes to the next phase and to the next phase. It goes from there to it goes get curly, from lanugo to curly, vellus, and vellus to terminal. Then we also have hypertension medicine, diabetes medicine. Those are medicine that are known, thyroid medicine, to thin your hair out. But if you take, like my friend who just went through chemo, she did hemp powered hair through the whole process. Her hair is back, thick, about 3 inches long now. And she's doing really well. But that's her testimony. Like I say again, I'm just sharing it because she's one of my best friends. And I watched her use hemp powered hair when her hair was coming out. So yes, but don't stop taking your medicine. Please don't stop. Go to the doctor, let the doctor stop you by doing what he say do. Okay?
Not me, it's something for a friend.
Great question, great question. And by the way, Pam, your garden looks fantastic.
She got a happy plate.
She has a wonderful garden that she was showing on Facebook.
That's what
My,
I'm saying. See, when she looked down on her plate, she gonna have a happy plate.
What were you saying, Pam?
my audio doesn't work too well, but thank you. Yeah.
Awesome. Yes, yes, yes.
And it's all my husband. I haven't done any. I planted like three things.
Well, you know that you're doing better than a lot of us. I'm preparing the area, have some grow bags, and I've got some pots that I've just purchased for that. My blueberry tree is blooming today.
Ooh.
So
That sounds
I'm
good.
pretty excited about that. But yeah, so I'm following in your lead, Pam.
Oh,
Um
okay. And,
yes, ma'am. So Doris, anything else that you'd like to cover?
Not at this time. If they don't have any questions, my always plea is to bring someone to class with you.
Absolutely. I know
Don't,
that you've got some an event that you've got to be at in just a few.
yes, at a
And you've got
school
some
here
travel
in,
time.
yes, I'm going to a school in Hattiesburg. They wanted me to come for the night class, and in the morning, I'm going back for the day class. So I'm excited. I always love going to schools because the students are so eager and ready to receive. And I'm excited about that because I was once a beauty school teacher. And so I know where they are. I've been there and I was a director of a school. So I've been there, I was a teacher and all that. So I always let them know that's from the student to the director's position I held at beauty school. So definitely know how they feel and hungry for knowledge. You got to stay hungry. See, a lot of time we get to that point where you're not hungry anymore. But as long as you're in the business, you need to stay hungry.
That's awesome. Well, those are words of wisdom. And as always, you give us something to put on our mind about our business and about how we can use Akana and our experts to make that grow. So appreciate you. Appreciate you,
And
Doris.
Kathy,
Yes, ma'am.
you guys also, we didn't just stop with hemp powered hair. We just didn't focus more on it. Today was the 3-in-1 shampoo, the detangler leave-in conditioner. We have our moisturizing conditioner. So those are the other, and we had the beard oil for men. So those are the supporting products of the leading lady I call her hemp powered hair. Those are the supporting products because you gotta be able to cleanse that scalp, cleanse that shaft, and be able to add moisture back into the hair as well as protein. Hair is made of protein and moisture, and you got to keep that balance there.
You
So
know, I'm really glad that you brought that up about the other products. Guys, just know that on the websites of the people that invited you, your own websites, just know that that 20% that was going on Memorial Day is still happening until today,
oh,
until
that's
later
right.
on today, until midnight. So guys, and that's midnight Pacific. So 20%, that means $100 equals $80, right? All right. So just really think about it in those terms, right? You're getting a much more bang for your buck. So this is the time to get your favorites like hemp powered hair, the three-in-one shampoo. And of course, some of the supporting products that go along not only with the hair care line, but for your full body support, whether it's flat belly, whether it is anything. So 20% of orders of over $100, which is really easy to do. Like I said, if you're gonna spend 100, go ahead and get it, and you'll end up spending 80. You'll get your favorite products for the best price.
and
Ending tonight.
and Kathy, some people probably saying, why is it 3-in-1 shampoo? Because it serves three purposes. Number one, it cleanses the scalp. It's a shampoo for your hair. Number two, it's a facial wash for your face, and it's a body wash. So you don't have to just stop now with your shampooing of the hair. Please don't say, I'm washing my hair. You're going to shampoo your hair, you're going to wash your face, and you're going to wash your body
I
with our
love it.
3-in-1 shampoo.
I love it. And that's why you want to go ahead and get a few of those so you can have some in every spot that you have a bathroom. Really great place to have that. I've taken Royal up on her challenge and I love it, love it, love it. So Really good stuff. So, I will give you a chance to go ahead and travel because I think you got a little ways to go. I'm not sure where you
Yes, I
personally
think
are, but we're going to go ahead and cut it off today. Thank you so much, Doris. Thank you
you
guys
was
for
so
attending
welcome.
today's session. Thank you for the fantastic questions. And guys, just know that we are so lucky to have Doris as our in-house expert. So make sure you do bring a guest next Monday, same time, same bat channel. And we will be here to hit on another concerning topic for our hair, our virtual hair Zoom. So, guys, have a great rest of your Monday. Doris, safe travels.
Okay, thank
All
you. I'll
right,
get
have a
home
fantastic
tomorrow.
class today. All
Okay,
right, guys, have a wonderful day. Thank
thank you
you.
so much. Make it